Ding, 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 here we go. Here's the moment we've all been waiting for. The speeches have arrived. I've got to do a few introductions first. Can everyone hear me all right? Is that, yeah? Too loud? Is everyone back in the seats? There's a few people missing, isn't there? Stragglers. Great seat. I've got to do a few introductions first, but I just want to say a few thank yous very quickly. Did everyone enjoy the food? Yes? Yes. So thanks very much to everyone in the kitchen, and also thanks very much to all the waiting staff who are going between the lorries, not getting anyone's way. And also a massive thank you to the most important people here tonight, the bar staff who are keeping everyone hydrated. Make sure you tip generously because Philip's decided to put his hand in his pocket and pay for the late bar, so they're going to be working extra hard tonight. I'm going to introduce first, obviously, doesn't really need any introduction, but Catherine's dad, Rick. I know he's been working dead hard on this speech, and know that it's supposed to be very, very good indeed. So everyone please give him a warm round of applause to welcome him.
Well, hello everybody. Hello everybody. Those people who don't know me, my name's Rick. I'm the proud father of the bride. I'd like to say a big thank you for everybody on this top table here for taking the time and the efforts for everybody to come to Catherine's wedding and Phil's wedding. I also want to thank everybody else who helped make today what it is. Even if you think it wasn't much, it was everything. It really was. And also a special word to the bridesmaids. Where all they are, everywhere. You not only look fantastic, but you help keep our Catherine calm and off the drink. And of course the two kids, hello babe. And of course the two kids who were really good because they kept quiet. Anyway, I have to say babe, what a beautiful bride you look today. Oh yes. You look absolutely stunning. And I think Phil must be as proud as what me and your mum are. Anyway, as always on these occasions, there's special people who can't be here. But I think that they all look down on us with a big smile on their face and just wish us all the best. So I'd just like you to just have a little toast to have some friends. Now, I believe it's time that I should tell something about Catherine. That Catherine doesn't really want you to know about. Because as part of her father's job, I've been entitled to embarrass you. But you relax. Because up to now, I'll wait until we're on the dance floor. But it's hard enough on a day like this not to think back to the day you were born. And I can picture it now like it was yesterday. Ish. Donna was in the delivery room, absolutely exhausted after many hours in labour. Two midwives were encouraging us to one last push. And then, of course, the postman with Catherine's first parcel from Topshop. Right in my speech, Donna said I should look through some more photographs, bit of inspiration, stuff like that. One stood out from all the others. It's a picture of my little girl lying on a rug in front of the fire, dribbling and gurgling, and trying to take a few wobbly steps. Sadly, that's the only photograph I've got of her head, mate. So it was very special, really. But I know how lucky that me and your mum and your brother and sister also have you in our lives, and always have been. It's been an absolute joy for your mum and me to watch a very talkative, playful little girl turn to somebody who never just, turn to somebody who's beautiful, clever, talented, and extremely loving woman. That is my absolutely honour and privilege to walk down the aisle today. Stop crying. Now, like most fathers, I took the view that no one was good enough for my girls. In fact, I was in favour of deportation for anyone who even tried. Turn over. But then I met Phil. Anyway, from the first day I met him, he's been extended to Janet and Kevin. But he's well married, mostly sober. And I was supposed to welcome Phil into the family today. But the truth is, I don't need to, because he's been part of our family quite a while. And by that I mean, he used to leave his clothes all over the house. He'd be in our bed till midday and drink all my beer. But to be fair to Phil, he did things the right way. He asked me out for a drink. Asked me if I could marry Catherine. Then borrowed 20 quid. Anyway, as a parent, you always wonder if you make the right choices. And what it's worth, me and Don think you have. No worries. Anyway, I was supposed to give a little bit of advice now because I've been married forever. What I'm going to do is say, always be each other's best friend. And second, if you have a fallout, don't go to bed on it. Just fight on like me and Donald do. Anyway, ladies and gents, it's about time I've extended my welcome, but I've got one more thing to do, and that's make a toast. And the toast is to Mr. and Mrs. Langley. Thank you.
So, I say it's going to be short and sweet. Right, you have to bear with me because I literally wrote this at 7:30 this morning. I want to start by saying I'm not one for talking to a crowd, so I'll keep it short and so you can get to the main event. Thank you all today. Thank you all for being here today. It means lots to both of us. I don't know if anyone knows the story of how me and Kath got engaged. It's actually a really good story. I'm not going to start telling it now because we'll still be here next week. We're all here to celebrate me and Catherine getting married. A lot of people get married because they love each other. I heard you got a tax cut. Nah, really don't. Really don't. Catherine, you look even more amazing. Put that one in there just for you, Dad. No, really though, Kath. You look even more amazing than I could have imagined. I married you because of everything that you are. You're stunning, big-hearted, kind, generous. You're your best mate. Now you've timed up, we can look to the future, look to starting a family and more. We're not having kids until we're at least 30. Today wouldn't have ran so smoothly if it wasn't for Catherine's organisation. She arranged pretty much everything, and I think you'd all agree it's been spot on. My main role has been to turn over cash as and when it's been needed to be paid. I've been happy to take a step back though. She knows what's best, and now we're married, my opinions don't matter anymore anyway. To our parents, I just want to say thank you for everything you've done for us. Not just in the build-up to today, but throughout our lives. I think we've turned out pretty well, and I hope you're proud of the pair of us. To our Peter, I couldn't have picked a better best man. You've organised a boss stag do, and you've always been ready to tell me bailiff at the side of the leg of today. The bridesmaids all look amazing, and thanks for keeping Catherine sane in the past few weeks. So everyone here today, congratulations, because you made the cut. I'm made that we could all be here today. You've all played a big part in our lives, and we're both so happy it's all turned up. On a sad note, none of our grandparents were able to make it here today. My nan battled the hardest, but unfortunately she passed away before we got here. Catherine's granddad's a bit too frail to be here, but I know he'll be at home having a Guinness for us. I want to say thank you to our Stephen as well, because he had my granddad's ring melted down into a signet ring. So I've got a little bit of my granddad here, and to our Helen, because I've got my nan and granddad in my cufflinks. I want to say a big thank you to all the staff behind the bar and all the staff in the kitchen. So can we have a round of applause for them as well for keeping us all kept up and well fed. I want to end by just saying to Catherine, you look absolutely perfect. Enjoy the day and take it all in. You put so much effort into it and you can finally sit back and relax. So here's to the future. And here's to Catherine. And now, it's literally the moment that we've all been waiting for.
I haven't even said anything yet. I feel bad for Catherine. She's cried more times today than you can imagine, bloody hell. Just wait for the next 10 years. It is true, by the way, Philip did write that speech at 7:30 this morning. We went out for a few drinks last night and he ended up spewing his guts up and then turned over to me this morning and went, Peter, you need to help me write a speech. Just to get my speech started, thanks very much for turning out today and all your numbers. So good to have so many of you here. I know we've got a few people who've come quite a distance to be here today. We've got people from Liverpool, obviously, Manchester, the Midlands, and I believe we've got someone from Czech Republic as well. Which just goes to show how far people will travel for a free meal. I need to start off with some congratulations. Congratulations, obviously, to the happy couple. And also to Rick and Donna, and also my mum and dad. I'm sure that they're proud as punch as well. I'm especially proud of my parents, to be honest with you, because they're sat here with me today. This is the closest that they've sat together for 20 years without having a divorce lawyer mediating conversation. Thanks very much for laughing at that, because my mum would have took me outside and went, you nasty git. But for those who don't know me, for those who do know me, obviously no introductions required, but for those who don't know me, you will soon. My name is Peter, and I'm Philip's best man for today, but more importantly, I'm also the best brother. Fortunately, this isn't much of an accolade for me because I had zero competition. And before we go into the low points of Philip's life besides tonight, I want to just give out a couple of special mentions. Again, I know Rick's already toasted to absence. I know Philip's already mentioned me nan and Catherine's granddad, but I just wanted to touch on it as well because I know Catherine's granddad Ray obviously isn't well enough to be here today, but I know from all the stories I've heard that he's a proper character and he would have loved to be here. Catherine, you look absolutely gorgeous, and I'm sure that your granddad will be so proud when he sees all the photos. Also, again, I don't want to bring the mood down too much, but my nan, who unfortunately passed away in March, I know she was absolutely desperate to be here, and she'll be bursting with pride seeing Philip and Catherine married today. I know she would have loved to see people enjoy themselves tonight, so let's make sure that we have the best time tonight. Yeah? For those who are unaware, the year was 1994 that me and Philip first met. And you'll all know yourself what it's like to meet new people when you start chatting to somebody and you hit it off. Well, me and Philip didn't. To give you an idea of our relationship, we were similar to most siblings who fight and argue. I was loud and handsome, Philip was quiet and ugly. But believe it or not, thanks Chris, believe it or not, Philip used to actually bully me quite badly. He used to hit me or give me verbal abuse. Once he dragged me on my back from the kitchen all the way to the hallway and gave me a severe carpet burn. I was off school for 3 days because it looked like I'd fallen backwards onto a cheese grater. But honestly, the years of counselling and the help from Dr. Singh have allowed me to stand here today and speak in public about it. But despite this behaviour, I always looked up to Philip. I grew up wanting to be like Philip. Philip grew up wanting me out of his life. We'd often fight and bicker. I'd try and wind him up so that he'd spend some time interacting with me. Philip would respond by telling me I was adopted. As we grew up, we started to become a bit closer and gradually found some common ground at the bottom of a beer glass. As we all know, alcohol has a diverse effects on people. I get happier, louder, and I hope I get funnier. Philip gets happier, then louder, then quieter, before eventually disappearing and selecting the toilet that he's going to fall asleep on. Numerous times I've had to unlock the toilet doors and help Philip get his jeans back on. Unfortunately for me, I've seen his private parts more times than I'd like to admit. I won't go into too much detail, but that's why I avoided the prawns tonight. I don't know why you're laughing, Catherine, you've got to look forward to it. Sorry, Rick. But as it goes, me and Philip have turned out to be the best of mates. The thing is with Philip, he's so easygoing. He never has a bad word to say about anybody. And to be honest with you, I always use the same example whenever I describe our Philip. I always say, if Adolf Hitler was in a room with our Philip, Philip would no doubt turn around and say, do you know what? He's sound, you know. And it's this type of personality is why people love him as much as they do. So let's have a round of applause for our Philip. I wish I could start by telling people about how Philip and Catherine's relationship blossomed. Catherine's fiercely warned me against the topic, so I'll be at the bar if anyone wants to know the gossip. But joking aside, I could tell straight away that Philip had found a soulmate. I've never seen him happier and more content with his life. Unfortunately, things didn't work out with Lindsay, but he went on to meet Catherine working the Village Hotel. And she's here tonight, Lindsay. Lindsay's coming out with duct tape on her mouth going, No, seriously, Catherine, I've always liked you from the start, particularly because you always laugh at me jokes, even though Philip just rolls his eyes and says, that's not funny. I also love Catherine because we always gang up on Philip and force him to do stuff that he insists he won't do. Usually coming out for a drink and food and then letting him pay the bill. I can remember when Catherine made Philip propose to her. He whisked her away for the 2-week holiday to Mexico where he popped the question blind drunk, I believe. I'd say Catherine was shocked, but 2 weeks earlier we were sat in the Globe having a pint when Philip was telling Daphne about all his grand plans. Clearly not aware that Catherine was sat on the other side of the partition. It was like an intensified episode of Blind Date. I was just waiting for Cilla Black to come out and go, surprise, surprise! But I do remember when they rang me. I remember it vividly because due to the time difference. They FaceTimed me at 5 in the morning. I had a feeling there was something big to tell me, and there was. They were engaged, finally engaged, after 6 years of waiting. Philip immediately texted me and asked me to be his best man. Well, he never actually asked, just texted me saying, you can sort my stag do. The sentiment was overwhelming. But in fact, I am overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed to be stood here with you both today. Catherine, I couldn't think of anyone better who's suited to put up with our Philip. You're kind, funny, and genuine, and I'm so happy that you're joining our family. I can say for definite, you are the sister that I never had. I can see our Helen and Jennifer like that going, you horrible. See, Jennifer, it's not even funny. Well, they all laugh, so deal with it. I mentioned previously that me and Philip were not the closest as kids, most siblings aren't. But now I can stand here and be proud to have grown up to see you mature into the most generous, kind-hearted, innocent person you could wish to meet. It fills me with so much more pride that you're not only my friend, but also my big brother. And I'm so grateful they've asked me to stand with you today. And I have the privilege of watching you marry the most loving, bubbly, stunning bride that anyone could wish to see. And I'm sure you'll all agree with that, so another round of applause, please. Thankfully, the Champions League final isn't until next weekend, so people have actually made the effort to come here today to watch Philip and Catherine take the first steps together. And I'm not one for believing in soulmates, but knowing you two together is knowing that you're in the presence of true love. So thanks very much for listening to me. I hope you don't mind if I can get everyone to stand. If you can all raise your glasses in the air, and let's have an absolutely belter night as we toast again to Philip and Catherine Langley. Cheers. And that's me done, so give me a round of applause as well.
Smile, an everlasting smile.